and welcome. Today we're going to take a good look at Benny's Spaceship set from the original Lego movie. Now, I've had this absolutely ages. It was actually a gift which was very kindly given to me way back when. I used the minifigures for some photos, but I've not actually opened up the inside. Now, this is second hand, so I don't know if it's complete, so that's going to be one of the interesting things. But as always, what we'll do, we'll open up the box, we'll have a look if there's a sticker sheet and also what the instruction manuals and things look like, and then we'll just go from there. But because the box is already open, what I will do is we'll get you down to the side and we will just see what state the internals of these are. So they have put them in separate bags for me. It sounds like there's one piece was sliding around in the box. There it is. So there is three separate bags, two big instruction booklets. So starting with box artwork as normal, this is from the Lego movie. It's a 9-14 set 70816, and as you can see, it's Benny's spaceship ×3 with the capital spaceship at the end. It looks absolutely enormous. Now, this is obviously one of the funny films from the original movie. Got a bad feeling I might start backtracking some of the original Lego movie sets for some of the spaceships, the display that might be coming. On the front, it does have its own crew with regards to the exclusive minifigures to this set. So you've got Benny with the cracked helmet. You've then also got Emmett, which is the undercover Emmett. Then you've got Wild Style in her uniform as well, and then you've got the Unikitty in the special uniform as well. And you also have the Octan evil person, which is obviously mimicking one of the Star Wars fighters clearly. But up and around, you can see you've got, should have hopefully, two small ships that we'll have to build, plus this huge thing as well. If it was on the shelf on the side, that is what it would look like on the side. You can see you've got the Lego Club and things on there, and then on this side it does have the Lego movie number and everything like that. Now at the back, it has got a lot of detail. So again, it's got the set number at the back end, and it's got all the different bits and pieces that you can do. So it does look like you might be able to fit all of the minifigures in here, so it'd be quite interesting. I just hope it is fully complete, but we'll cross that bridge when we come. And you have got all the little bits and pieces that you can do. So it does look like it's got a blast effect, as you can see, as you've got that red thing that'll be shooting out. Obviously I won't be loading that because of the cats, but you can, by the looks of it, fit a couple of the minifigures in the cockpit, and there are some other little bits and pieces on the back that you can do. So moving on to the instruction booklet, we will see just what this is like. I might need two hands to start with on this, but you can see you've got a lot of different bits and pieces going on, and the colour, how completely different the paper colour is, all the yellow surround and everything like that. Now this one looks like it just gets going and starts. If we spin it all the way to the back end, what do they have? So they've got something called the Lego Club, where you, by the looks of it, you can get a free paid subscription. Okay, let me reread that. Lego Club, it says free, but it's in star. Paid subscription in Australia and New Zealand. So I'm not too sure if you get that free in the UK or not, but it is lego.com/club. I've never heard of that before. And then as we come around, it has got the Lego movie video game. And by the looks of it, the first page finishes at 65, step 36. So it looks like each piece of this booklet is absolutely massive. Now, what I did spot when this came out of the box on this one is all of the other sets. Now, some of these sets are amazing. So you've got the Space Police droid thing, because on this, it does have the Batman in it, because yes, the Batman did make a special appearance in the Lego movie set. So if you did not know that he was included, if I can get the shine off, that is set number 70815. And it also has the Indiana Jones knockoff, so Johnny Thunder is there as well. And then you've got a lot of minifigures within this. So I will maybe try and have a look for set 70815. So moving on to set 70814, that is Emmett's design. That is what he personally builds. And you can see it does look like it comes with two other characters, and it's got the evil Unikitty as well. And then over to the far left, which is set 70805, you have got the bin lorry or the trash compactor, which is a 2-in-1 set. And you can see you've got a couple of minifigures and things in there. Now there's a lot going on with the back of the artwork on this, because you can see that the city itself is obviously their creation for their own Lego city that they made up. But you can see you've got the Octan artwork on the back. You've got the Law Business symbol on the back there, and you've got I've got my eye on you. So there's lots of different bits and pieces going on, but it does look like potentially that might need to be purchased just because of our superhero section, and that does come with 2, 4, 5, 6, 8 figures. So I'll have a look for that. So that's set 70815. You can do some research for me and let me know in the comments below. That'd be absolutely fantastic. And then we will move on. So as normal, now what you've got is on the inside where you've got all the pieces, and then you've got some bits and pieces about all the different Legoland parks. So at the time of this film being done, it looks like you've got Billund, Germany, Malaysia and Windsor. There's been a lot of parks open since then. There's now 9 theme parks all opened up, so a lot of them has popped up, and it keeps going. So this is what I really like to see in the instruction booklets. So you've got all of the DC comic superhero sets. On that, it does look like you've got a Joker with another character on a steamroller. That set I don't think I have ever seen before. That thing looks pretty cool, and it's got the Flash on the front. Then you've also got another weird and wonderful Batmobile, and then you've got a Batwing-esque thing as well. So that steamroller is set. Let me get the light off, because that was the thing that it did with these pages back then. It was very, very shiny. That is set number 76013 for the steamroller. The smaller one just beside it is set 76011, and the small one beside that, which looks like it's the little baby penguin, is set 76010, and then it looks like you've got like a dragster race going on there, which is set 76012. So there's lots and lots of different bits and pieces going on with the Batman, and carrying on with the other bits and pieces for the 2-in-1 sets for the Lego Movie. You have got this cool looking thing, which I don't think I've ever seen before, which looks like it's a castle thing. So I know some people watching the channel will be interested in this. This is set 70806. You have got the tower gates at the bottom, and then you can mix it round into a type of spaceship if you want to. We've already seen that one, because that was being used on the back of the artwork. And this is the 2-in-1 ice cream truck, which does look very similar to the ice cream truck that is currently available with the villains, and that is set number 70804. And then up and round, you can see just how both of these will compare as we go through. So there's lots and lots of information with regards to the set on this. And one more, that's just through the Lego Movie game, but it does finish on page 76, step 83. It's finally time to move on to the main event, and what a thing it is. So we'll take a good look at the ship first, and we'll go through the minifigures, then we'll compare everything after. So let's get all of those out of the way. Now, there are lots and lots of little hidden Easter eggs with regards to this set, and there's lots of details. You can remember how they make it up in the film. They just throw lots of different bits and pieces together. Now, if you are a space fan, that says LL929. The new one that is out currently, the old classic space, but it's the new sort of for their birthday edition, is actually LL928 on the side. Now, as we've come round and panned through, I am happy to announce that this is 100% complete. There was not a single piece missing of this, which is really, really nice to see. If there was anything missing, I was hoping that all the sticker bits were there, because obviously all the stickers had already been put on. So everything sticker-wise, you've got these bits up here, and obviously you can see these bits down there. They were already done, so I didn't have to do that. And luckily, not a single bit was missing, and all the prints as well were included. Now, if we start on the inside and open it up, there is a lot of space on the inside of this. So you can fit the 3 minifigures, and you can see all the detail on the cockpit from the back. So you've got all the control panel. You can get all 3 minifigures in here, not a problem. And then you've got the classic space bits at the top, but don't forget the screens that they took were from all different bits and pieces as well. So there's lots of higgledy-piggledy pieces in here, because that's exactly what they did in the actual film. So it's a large thing. When we start to scale it up in a little bit, I'm quite surprised just by how big this thing is. Now, it looks like bits and pieces should rip off and things and should move, and you are right. So things like this, for example, open up. I had absolutely no idea any of this would have existed. So you can see you've got the temperature on the inside. You can sit a minifigure or 2 if you want to in there, and you can see you've got the computer details on the one side, and then as we come round and through, you've got bits and pieces where you can clip stuff into, and you can put some tools and stuff just on the inside just there. So there is a lot going on with this one. Now, that one comes down. This is in solid, so you can't pull that up, even though that looks like a piece that should come off. That is obviously just for your engine bay itself, as our special guest arrives yet again. Now, as we're coming through and round and down, so Rocky, if you stay still for me, there is a piece on here. If I was to pull this out, the wings will move. So if I push this in, he moves out the way. See, the wings come out completely, so you can put it into like a super flight mode, so you get really, really nice width just on there. If I bring it all the way back in, you can see how it shrinks. So you can pick and choose basically how you want it to display it, and then come back through. It's a really cool, simple feature, just because of how you can do it with all the Technic bits just on the outside. And there are another piece that I need to show you as well. So if we bring these back in like so, these bits on the side are actual ships. So this bit on the side will pull this off. These are the 2 ships just here, and I had no idea that they attached to this, but if you do look at the box artwork, you've got Emmett flying in one, and it is actually from the side of the wing, because there is nothing on that bit, And as we come over to this side, you can see just here, that is where the other ship is attached. But these do have some nice detail as well, and I'm lucky that these pieces were still about, and obviously they've got the stickers and everything, but they've got the little screen on the inside. You can see where the minifigures will sit, and then you've got all the bits and pieces, so the wings open up fully, and then it turns into a full little spacecraft, which again is a really, really nice thing. So it depends on how you want to display it, if you want these dangling off the roof being chased by this, or you can just have them attached. So we've got a moving piece here, you've got a moving bit at the top. Now the other bits that move are these, and now these are all stickered as well. So you've got 4 of these which are all stickers, so you can angle that to basically however it is that you want to angle it. And again, just one last time looking at this thing, if we were to push that all the way in as so, that's how that works. You can see the mechanism just on the inside of the wings, which I think is really, really impressive, and then it just slides and glides back in. But you can see how these pieces also move up and back down again. So there's lots and lots of detail. Now these bits are where you will load your shooters as well. So what you would need to do if you want to shoot some bits and pieces, obviously you can't have it in because you'll hit your own engine, so you have to expand the wings all the way out, load it up, shoot them out, and obviously you've got one on both sides. So lots of playability with this one, and again, you can just do whatever it is you want to do, dangling the bits and pieces on the roof, and then you can pick and choose where it is you want to throw these. And then the other cool thing is you have a army of spaceship outfits on all of the characters. Now we'll go through the characters now. So you've got a special edition Unikitty, and that is a print, that is not a sticker on her hip. So she's got a normal pink face, but then she is in her blue space outfit. So if you can remember, they actually released a load of these in like blind bags, which are obviously almost impossible to figure out what was what. But to get this one, you could only ever get this one, I do believe, from this set. So it's a nice looking thing. They stand nice, she stands nicely, and if I just compare her to Benny, who actually has a matching thing, that is what they look like. Now again, I think a slight difference with this one is the cracked helmet. I think there is a difference on this Benny to some of the others, because the other ones that came out in the CMFs, especially from the Lego Movie 2, I know he had like a robotic arm on the one side and it was slightly different. That is exactly what it was like on the film. It was like a rubbed away sort of spaceship, because obviously he was wearing a very, very old top and a very, very old jersey, and then you do have the blaster pack on the back, so his oxygen tank, and obviously he can fly off and do whatever he wants to do. So they look really, really nice as a team. Now the villain, before we get onto the villain ship, and then we'll go through Wildstar and Emmett, he is a really cool thing. Now if you can spot the colour on the inside, yes, that is an Octan evil bit, because it is also on the wings of this cool little ship as well, which we'll take a good look at in a second. But you can see the head print on this one is really, really nice and really, really detailed. And then as we spin round, you've got loads and loads of detail on the back of his torso. There's no leg print, which doesn't really matter on the back or the front, so it's just plain black legs. And you can see you've got the just normal black arms there. There's no print on that either. And then you've got the grey for the hands. But the helmet itself looks really, really nice. I would imagine that's a little bit of a rip-off from a Star Wars figure, but it's just a good little bit of fun. And because this is obviously his ship, which you can see on the box, this is where we now get to the only bit that was missing. So I've got the spare pieces for all of these. I'm only missing one camera to go on the inside of that wing, and then I can just get it back up. So I just need to go through my spare pieces and just find a camera, because I've got all of the other little bits and pieces on here. Now again, it's up to you how you're going to display this. You can either have it dangling off from the ceiling, or you can basically have it, I would imagine, almost attached to potentially this ship's wing, and you can have them just up across the top. You can do whatever it is that you want to do, but you do have a lot of space on the inside of this as well. You can fit the one minifigure in. If for whatever reason you had a duplicate minifigure, obviously you can pull those two pieces out because they're just there for show rather than structure. Then you can have two minifigures sat side by side. He is literally sat on the floor in this one, so there isn't a chair. And then you have got the screen on the inside. And again, these aren't prints, they are stickers on the outside of both of those. And then you've got a nice looking engine on the back.
So moving on to Wildstar, I can't find her. That's why I've got her like this. I do have her, so she's somewhere, so don't panic too much. But we'll do a quick comparison. So you can see the standard Wildstar is the one on the left-hand side. You've got the silver zip, and obviously you've got the golden zip on the right-hand side. But if we start from top to bottom, top hair is exactly the same. Facial expression ever so slightly different. She has a little bit of a smirk on the blue torso, but I think she does have dual faces. Then as you come down and round, if you look at the pink and teal, that has just been replaced with the sort of lighter blue and gold. And they've very cleverly added on the NASA of space rocket stuff onto her hip. And then as you come down, the leg print is the same, but then they've also added on the control panel onto the top of her thigh. And then as you move down to her foot, that does not have any print on whatsoever. Now, I do believe, again, that this only ever came in the Benny's Spaceship set, so I really do need to try and find this minifigure, but it does not have any print on her arm as what it does with the standard figure.
So with Wild Style done, obviously I will find her. That is the matching uniforms. Now moving on to Emmett, you have got his undercover head with his normal body. Now with the hair, it is actually attached to the helmet on this one, but it's really hard to come through on the camera. I've tried to do it a couple of times, it's just not really working. It's like he's got a tin foil effect on the back of his head, and it wraps all the way around. Then this side here is now pure silver, and then as it comes round to the front again, around his cheeks, he's got a low more sort of tin foil effect, and you can even see his eyes and his teeth and his mouth are all ever so slightly different. So it's a very, very interesting piece, and I think this is completely exclusive to this set as well. His actual torso is just like a normal Emmett torso. He's got his tag, he's got all the belt buckles, his pen and everything else. It might be a slightly different high-vis jacket that he's got in the other sets, but also on the back it has a craggle piece. There's a bit that actually should be on here, and it just holds on because that is the glue that they've got. Now I have got a very, very similar looking piece. In fact, I might have a spare piece that needs to go on there for the glue, but that was not included with this set, which is a little bit of a shame. But overall, I think it looks absolutely fantastic. So what we'll do now is we'll start to scale this ship with some of the other bits and pieces. So to start with, as always, we're going to have to do the Indiana Jones stuff because it's what I've always done with all the other ships. So as we pan down and round, you can see just the size of the car next to the wing of this massive Benny spaceship. And again, I've said it in every one, this is a good sized plane. So if you were to have this dangling off your ceiling, it's not that difficult to see. But again, putting that just beside this as a comparison of just how big this Benny spaceship, I think it says quite a lot. Now again, I've done it on all the others. It will just easily rest on the top of this, no problem, he says. So I just throw that up at the top just to give it an understanding of the wingspan. You can see that with the wings tucked all the way in, it's at least twice as wide as this plane. So if that wing was from the middle coming all the way over, so in its sort of shrunken mode it's 2 planes wide, and then when it's fully extended it'll probably be close to 3. So the next thing we'll compare it to is the Mandalorian M1 Starfighter. So as we pan up and round, you can see that the width of the Benny spaceship is much wider, and obviously that is still with the wings in, and it is also slightly longer as well. So we get it over that way and just have them slightly staggered, at least you get a good understanding of just the size and scale difference. Now obviously I think we've all said that the M1 Starfighter is a slightly overscaled ship, but them side by side, if they're flying around on your display, I don't think it looks too bad at all. So moving on to the next one, it'd be rude if I didn't use it, Mando's old ship. Now you can see just how much this thing towers over the Benny spaceship. Now I did use the Benny spaceship in the unboxing of this, so all the ships I am using, there are fully unboxing videos available, and I thought they looked really nice side by side. I thought they scaled well, but for some reason the blue seems to really pop when it is against the old Razor crest. So just moving back to the smaller ship for a second, I've just grabbed 2 of the more recent sets that I've got in the collection. So the yellow one is the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is the baby rocket set, and then obviously we've got the Indiana Jones plane as well. And if you have them all dangling off and doing whatever you want on the display, that is what they're going to look like side on, and then that then is what they're going to look like front on or side by side, and depending on how you're going to have them on the shelf, you're going to display them that way and have them dangling around. So I think it holds its own with regards to scale against Benny's ship, and I think it looks quite nice going up against these 2 as well. Last comparison, I'm going to have to keep you guessing on this one because we've got something that is brand new and something that is also quite old. We've got the Lego Movie 2 Fist against the new Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 main ship, I do believe, and they are all very completely different ships, all different sizes, but I think they do look rather nice. Now in real life that is actually only a micro scale, so this thing should be absolutely gigantic, but again it looks smart enough, but it does tower over Benny's ship. But these 2, again, having this one and this one side by side, I think they look really, really smart. I don't think you can go wrong if you can display them on the shelf. But that is it, I am done. So hopefully you found that useful for a comparison point of view. If there's anything that you see in the display that you want me to try and show off in case you're thinking about it or you're sat on the fence, obviously just let us know in the comments below and I'll do what I can. If you are going to backtrack this amazing ship, then again, let me know, because it is something that I think is pretty cool. But I don't think, again, it did hold its value on the second-hand market. So you might be able to pick these up relatively cheap in comparison to today's day and age of Lego set prices. But guys, if you can like this video and subscribe to the channel and all that good stuff, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and I'll get to the next one. Ta-da.